Rosalie, you mixed red wine with Jack and Coke and thought you would be alright for the night. I can't believe you just woohoo blocked yourself. So last time we talked, Rosalie Bastianich, the heir of Generation 2 of my not-so-berry challenge, met her godson, James, and asked for her good friend Courtney James's advice about woohooing before leaving with her boyfriend, Finley Broke, for their romantic 3-day getaway to Tartosa. The two of them celebrating Finley's birthday before heading out to dinner and the club. Right as things were getting spicy between them back at the villa, Rosalie felt a violent urge to throw up. Drank a little too much, did we? That's alright, you still have 2 days for those plans of yours. Seems like Finley was massively messed up too. You can't hold your liquor for shit. Rosalie and Finley recovered from their night out in bed for majority of the morning. While back at home in Windenburg, our founder Gwyneth Westwood was getting ready for a snowball fight with her fiancé, Tanisha Stallings, and her daughter, Bella Westwood. It felt so strange with Rosalie being gone again, just like how she felt when she was in Salvadorada for her senior trip. But the difference this time around was that she didn't have the cloud of Joseph being alive hanging over her head, and she was now at peace with Tanisha by her side. They would soon be discussing housing arrangements and wedding plans, but first they had to break the news to Rosalie and Bella, but she was sure Bella would be thrilled. Tanisha stayed over last night, sleeping in Rosalie's bed to not raise suspicions, of course, and would be staying over again tonight. Bella made it obvious that she loved having Tanisha around. Gwyneth had never seen her so happy, and that, in turn, made her happy. After getting her ass kicked during the snowball fight, Gwyneth joined Tanisha and Bella making snowmen, and though she was preoccupied with her fiancé and daughter, she couldn't help but wonder what now young adult Rosalie was doing with her boyfriend so far away in sunny Tartosa. She did have the talk with her, right? Speaking of Finley, they were chilling poolside, feeling much better after this morning's incident. Rosalie felt like getting her tan on, lathering herself in sunscreen, while Finley took a relaxing dip in the pool. They had plans to chill at the villa for a while before going to the beach, and later to Allure in celebration of today being New Year's Eve. They would go light on the alcohol consumption considering this morning's incident. Though it was fun being that drunk, Rosalie was glad that things didn't escalate with Finley in that very moment. Whenever the two of them finally do woohoo, she wants to be sober so she can actually remember it afterwards, and she was sure that was something Finley wanted too. But just like when they almost woohooed that first and second time, they hadn't talked about it at all. Why was woohoo so awkward to talk about when she can talk to him about literally everything else? She almost felt like calling Courtney, but her thought process was interrupted when Finley decided to give a New Year's toast. Girl, you're tan, like Snooki from Jersey Shore tan. I can't tell if it looks good on her or not, but the piercing blue eyes are not helping. Finley looks so pale standing next to her, but he loved her tan, calling her sexy before surprising her with an entire bouquet of flowers, which she loved. He then proceeded to give his toast, whipping out more alcohol. Did we not learn from what happened this morning? Whatever. Finley dedicated his toast to many things, recovering from his fatal illness, Rosalie letting her father Joseph and their traumatic past go, going off to college with each other. Or so he thinks. And last but not least, the undying love that he has for his beautiful girlfriend, hoping that they only grow stronger this new year and that their love for each other continues to flourish. They then headed to the beach right next to their villa. It was pretty busy. The weather was so nice and the water was beautiful. Definitely not like her hometown of Windenburg. She was super excited to get in, do some laps, and grace the waterfalls. Why are you so mad at young love? After their night out, this was exactly what Rosalie and Finley needed. Some time to soak up the vitamin D, move their muscles, and regain their strength. Our heir was having too much fun with her man, and was sad that the trip was basically halfway over. They would definitely have to do this again. Finley also gained the active trait. Oh, he's about to get ripped, and Rosalie's not the only one excited about it. They fooled around in the water for a bit before preparing to head back to the villa. They were a bit tired from all the swimming and sun rays. They ended up taking a short nap with each other, hitting the bed the moment they got back from the beach. Rosalie woke up first and couldn't help but notice how perfect Finley looked, even in deep sleep. And she felt like now was finally the time. She gently woke him up, and with her eyes, her lips, and her body, she made it clear to him what she ached to do instead. She wanted to skip out on the luau. She yearned for him. She needed him. She was ready. Finley was visibly nervous, but definitely ready, asking if she was sure. And she was. And while Rosalie and Finley enjoyed their day in Tartosa together, back in Windenburg, Gwyneth Westwood had several errands to run. She needed to make sure that she could get away with Joseph's murder, so she started with the house he had rented out after they'd broken up. She couldn't believe he rented out her old home, maybe to make him feel safe, maybe to remind him of their old memories. Whatever his reasoning, it made her sick. She cleaned the place up, made sure there were no traces of her or Rosalie being here, and left with haste. Second, she found an abandoned cemetery in Forgotten Hollow, laying Joseph to rest. Forgotten Hollow was given its name for a reason. Nobody would ever think of coming to this dark, dreary town to search for him. She left his grave unmarked, strengthening his connection to the human realm in the process. She didn't want Joseph to find peace so soon. And lastly, she called an old enemy of hers to meet her at a cafe in the Windenburg countryside. Sarah Scott. There were things they needed to discuss. Gwyneth got right to the point. Joseph is nowhere to be found. She confronted him about the affair the two of them had over Harvest Fest dinner, and they broke up for good. He has not called, texted, or sent her any child support payments. It's almost like he completely vanished. She was afraid to say that she believes he fell into his old habits, or new ones perhaps, and something bad happened to him. Sarah had the same suspicions. She and Joseph had agreed to a child support arrangement in return for Sarah's discretion. She hadn't received a payment for a while, which was unlike him. Gwyneth told Sarah that she thinks Joseph is dead, maybe run off somewhere and drank himself to death. Because of this, she wanted to petition to have Joseph's will probated. If her daughter's father is in fact dead, the least she can do to ease her suffering is get her access to whatever he left for her in his will. Sarah was wondering why Gwyneth was telling her about this. Doesn't she hate her? Yes, Gwyneth hates Sarah, but mother to mother. She knew that Sarah's and Joseph's daughter Tessa can benefit from this as well. Gwyneth is willing to give Tessa a portion of Rosalie's inheritance if Sarah promises her something. She would never get in the way of Rosalie getting to know her sister. Rosalie has not said anything showing interest in getting to know Tessa, but she knows her daughter, and she knows that eventually she will. So, if Sarah agrees to welcome Rosalie into Tessa's life with open arms if the day ever comes, then she will make sure Tessa has more than enough money to start her life when she becomes a young adult. Sarah doesn't need to worry. Gwyneth had no plans of telling her husband Simon about her affair with Joseph. She's seen what a broken home has done to Rosalie. She does not want the same for Rosalie's sister. Sarah was surprised that Gwyneth was letting her off so easy, but she agreed with everything Gwyneth said. So, they had a deal, and, as a co-worker who hasn't seen Joseph in a very long time, she would need her help when petitioning the court. Sarah was all in. Anything to guarantee her daughter a better life sounded like a great plan to her. And though our founder and Sarah Scott hated each other with a burning passion, for once, the both of them could say that they had found common ground. All it took was Joseph dying to get there.